Hello, I'm Joe Puckett. Thanks for joining me. We need to talk about a unfortunate fatal shooting that occurred at a church in Huffman, Texas, outside of Houston, near Lake Houston. This incident occurred during the 8:30 a.m. service on Sunday. It was about 9:15 when the first part of this incident occurred. There's about 50 to 70 people in attendance in the church at the time. This incident started in the parking lot, and then the shooting occurred in the back of the church. This church had a circle drive around it, basically, or a driveway all the way around the church. And so this incident ended up unfolding the shooting part in the back of the church. So basically, what we know is that the police are called because at 9:15, when this guy's confronts somebody in the parking lot, and he says something about his mother used to attend the church. He identifies that connection. And then he made a vague threat. Today was the day. That's what he said to this person in the parking lot. And he said something about the pastor as well. And so the police are called. Police arrive. They're UTL. They're unable to locate this person. And so apparently they also call a security officer or security person for their church. They alert him and he shows up. It kind of sounds like maybe he wasn't on scene and then he arrived to the area and he starts looking for this suspect. And the suspect comes back to the church and he finds the guy driving around the parking lot. And then the guy ends up stopping behind the church. And this security officer, this church security member, ends up stopping about 20 yards, it's estimated, behind him. And the suspect gets out and he's holding something in his hand, which ends up being some sort of vape stick or vape pen, and starts running at the security person. The security person fires 2 rounds from a rifle at the suspect, and the suspect ends up being deceased at the scene. So what we do know is the suspect was in possession of this vape pen. He has some sort of issues going on. Now, there is one report that there was some sort of drugs that may cause some hallucinations or some sort of issues that were found in his trunk, in the suspect's trunk. And what we also know is that this suspect was apparently arrested the day before for some sort of a vandalism act in the area. And what I'm further hearing is that it may have been something to do with putting a sword through a trailer, somebody's trailer. Some sort of argument occurred and then some sort of vandalism. And he was arrested the day before. And then we have this incident at the church. So Saturday, he's arrested for this other incident where he's apparently going kind of crazy. And that's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, he has this incident at the church. So, what can we learn from this so far? This is preliminary information, but what we can learn from it so far, as we're always talking about here, is we need church security these days. You need security. We need to start training people, identifying people, the best people that you can find. And that may not be the perfect person, but we need people that are looking out for us, that are watching the parking lots, that are somewhat trained, and we're going to continue to train them even more. And our security members need that training, no matter how good they are, how experienced they are. We need to train them because the liability is high in these situations. This situation, this is not over. This is going to go on whether the shooter was justified or not. This will end up probably being litigated later, and there'll be some lawsuits, that kind of stuff that may occur. And so we need to have our quote ducks in a row, if you will, and we need to have our people identified as security, and the best ones we can find. If we don't have law enforcement folks or prior law enforcement officers in our congregation, then we find people that we trust and seem to make good decisions. And we begin to get them some training and identify them as security and help minimize their liability as a security member, but also our liability as a church as well. So stay tuned for more information. We'll follow up on this case. And always, as always, I would like to connect with you. So leave me some comments, like and subscribe to this video, and then take a look at this next video coming up.